Following 2 weeks of relentless Southern Ocean conditions, the 2017-18 Volvo Ocean Race fleet rounded the famed Cape Horn, a monumental landmark for any offshore sailor and an iconic milestone for the teams. Celebrations were muted this time, however, as all the sailors reflected on the loss of John Fisher, who only days earlier had been lost at sea of Team Scallywag.
I asked them today if they were excited about Cape Horn, and they said it was it had taken the excitement away a little bit, because it was the realisation of how vulnerable they are down here, how hostile the environment is down here. You know, during the course of this leg, they've all lost a friend, and so we're saying that this rounding's definitely for fish.
Now our thoughts are really first and foremost with those guys, and you know, the racing is really secondary at this point.
After successfully defending their lead for almost a week, Bauerbecking's Team Brunel took the extra bonus point for rounding Cape Horn first. But the team now faced a demanding North Atlantic passage to the finish in Itajaí, Brazil.
And it's always a good feeling to get around there first. This leg was really hard. I think one of the hardest I've ever done, and I've been there 8 times before. See the horn, and you can just see it on the faces of the crew. There's coming finally, they're coming some smiles appearing on the faces again. But of course the thing was John Fisher from Scallywag. Even if we had a little celebration, we did a little toast from him as well.
After suffering damage to their mast track only days into the leg, overall race leaders Mapfre had fought back and were doggedly chasing the lead trio into Cape Horn. But as the Spanish flag team rounded the Cape, their leg took a turn for the worse.
Well, what happened, I think, is a consequence of you know, the problems we've been having from day 2 or day 3, I don't remember anymore, where a part of the mast track came undone and glue from the mast. Today, once we were just passing the Cape Horn, you know, we sheared a bit harder because it was not that wind anymore, and just a third of the mainsail just ripped from side to side, and now we have no more choice than, you know, drop the main as we have. We're lucky as well that you know, we did a plan with our short team, and right now they are just waiting for us around the corner, and you know, hopefully they can, well, I'm sure they will give us a big hand to put all this together and keep sailing pretty soon.
Forced to suspend racing, the team conducted repairs with their shore team, sheltered in a nearby bay, and 13 hours later, Mapfre were back in the leg with a battle-scarred mainsail. But the team had lost precious miles on the leaders. Winds of 30 to 35 knots and a short sea state tested boats and crew as Team Axonabel fought hard to catch in the leading duo of Team Brunel and Dongfeng Race Team.
Have you broken it? Have you broken it before? Yeah.
Let's
be gentle with it.
Not bad.
Beautiful.
Much better. So we have a few injuries on board. Simon split his eyebrow. I broke my nose last night.
Yeah, a bit of a wave came in on the side, and I saw it coming, gave everyone the heads up, you know, and held on tight. They just got washed back on my arse on the deck of the boat, and then stood back up, and away you go again.
As the leaders passed further east of the Falklands, winds gusted as high as 45 knots, producing sharp, choppy seas. Turn the Tide on Plastic's rigging soon showed signs of the relentless onslaught.
We've got the sails, and now Liz has got the unenviable task of going up there to find out what the problem is. I found the problem! I'm smiling because we've just had a call at the very end of the day to say that we thought we were going to be stuck on 3 reefs and a J3, so just plodding along. But they've okayed us to go with 1 reef and a J1 and a fractional, but no masthead sails at the moment. But that is a much bigger sail plan, changes all our options massively. So it's good news, and we're going to get sailing again.
Vestas 11th Hour Racing's hopes of a good result in Leg 7 came to an end as their boat dismasted only 1,500 miles from the finish. All the crew were reported safe. The team were forced to motor to the Falkland Islands, just over 100 miles away.
See, I was driving at the time, and then there was a big bang, and the rig broke just above the first spreader. Everything, all the instruments jumped out the bracket, the radar exploded, the camera on the front of the rig exploded, and yeah, and the top of the mast obviously landed in the water with a stump sticking up.
I think that it just tells the story. This race is about overcoming the difficulties. We can't really overcome this one now, but we can make a plan to go forward and try our hardest to keep in the race.
Lose this rig at this stage to 1,600 miles from the finish is really disappointing. But we've got a great team. We'll bounce back.
Minimising their mistakes and capitalising on opportunities, Dongfeng Race Team chased hard on the heels of Team Brunel, hungry to grab their first leg win of the race.
Écoute, on a de la chance, on a une arrivée rapide, puisqu'on a du vent pas 25 nœuds portant. Ça c'est assez rare dans le coin, donc on va pas se plaindre. Et en plus on peut encore se battre pour la victoire. Brunel a une petite avance de 14 000 là. Mais il va se passer beaucoup de choses, des choix de voile, un long run de vitesse.
Leg 7 came down to the wire. The leading duo separated by less than 2 miles as they approached the Itajaí finish. Team Brunel holding out to take their first leg victory.
Yeah, it has been a really tough leg, I think, especially emotional, of course, with the loss of John. That sits really, really deep, and I think especially as being a skipper, you're just feeling all that responsibility for your crew members and the family members at home. But as well, it has been so windy, and but I think just like a sportive, I think we can be really, really happy because all the points were for grab at that stake. We won, and now all of a sudden the scoreboard looks a little bit more in our favour.
Team Axonabel are on target to claim third, whilst behind them, Turn the Tide on Plastic are doing everything they can to hold off Spain's Mapfre, who, if they can pass Di Cafari's team, will maintain a slender 1-point overall race lead. Fail, and they relinquish a lead they have held since leg 2. Whilst Vestas 11th Hour Racing is undergoing repairs in the Falklands, doing their best to rejoin the fleet restart to Newport, Sunhunkai's Scallywag made landfall on the west coast of Chile. Team Axonabel are due to finish overnight midweek, Turn the Tide on Plastic and Mapfre during the weekend.